Hello everyone and welcome back to Casting My Climb Dota 2 edition. We're thinking episode number 10 now? Yep, number 10. So, we go off onto the game. We got, on the Radiant side, we have Ogre Magi in the off lane. We got Muerta as the position 1 carry. Darkseer is the off laner. Venomancer's the hard 5. And Mirana's the mid laner. On the Dire team, we have Phantom Assassin as the safe laner. We got Silencer as the position 4 support. Legion Commander is the off laner at position 3. Sniper is, I think, a support actually in this game, if I remember correctly. And Dark Willow is the mid laner. So, very interesting thing about this one. I would say at this point, we had some good games, we had some bad games, just how it is sometimes. I don't now that I look at this lineup, I do know how it goes down, but I would say that I would probably favor, because I'm going to be honest about this one, we don't really have much gap closing for the sniper. Phantom Assassin can have free reign. My Muerta pick wasn't probably the best one, because if we look at what we have here, Legion Commander pick can stop pretty nicely what's going on here. You got Phantom Assassin who's going to buy a BKB, making Muerta's ult kind of useless in a weird way. And they immediately get on top of the Venomancer. Venomancer's dropping pretty low, barely surviving right now. Veno takes a bit of survivability. Meanwhile, Mirana and Darkseer are looking for them chase. Darkseer is dropping pretty low. Has to be very careful about this one. Mirana is taking a bit of damage now as well, and Ogre is just hovering around. He didn't even take the stun first? Okay, that's a bit of a rough one. So, level 1s went down. Nobody died in this game, so that's a bit of a surprise, to be honest. But yeah, the sniper is the support here. As I said, I feel like right now, looking at this game, Venomancer walks in there, gets immediately taken down by the Silencer, drops pretty low. Silencer does go down now to the Muerta, but Legion Commander is slapping a bit onto the Muerta as well. It's a bit of an awkward game, I would say, especially as a Muerta here. It's a character I do like playing, but I feel like I really picked myself into a bad corner here. But I think I had to pick like first round, because my supports were not. Well, okay, the support sniper did pick before me, I think, if I remember correctly. I was like the second pick on our team. Sniper taking a bit of damage here from the Darkseer, but yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. We gotta figure out how to play this one out. Mirana mid, I'm not the biggest fan of it right now. Mirana can work out, but it's just like kind of iffy. It's kind of interesting what both supports are here. Willow can take over a game if you really give her a chance, but at the same time it can become quite rough as well. The duel has a lot of impact in this game. That's something to keep in mind right now. Bit of ignite there from the Ogre, but yeah, as I said, it's kind of a rough situation. Gotta be honest about that one. Stun on top of the Phantom Assassin, but not really much about it. Gonna be a big part about this game right now. Starks is taking quite a bit of damage. Ignite gets thrown out once again by the Ogre, but it's just kind of how it's gonna develop out of this one.
Refreshing.
Legion Commander has a bit of a safe route right now, can do quite nicely with this one. Last hits are going decently, I would say, right now, but that's one of the things. Starfall comes through there, not really enough that gives anything. Phantom Assassin just clearing out a bit, makes a lot of sense. Darkseer does pick up the Mad Stone, so that could be a very interesting. Sniper gets a cuddle session with the Darkseer. Darkseer is now being threatened by the Phantom Assassin. A lot of damage going on top of him. Darkseer is barely holding on there. Still a lot of damage and material goes out of there, and Sniper and Phantom Assassin pick up the Darkseer 2-1 and 3 minutes for this Dire team, and that's kind of like the point about it. Good stun there from the Mirana, just can't take advantage of that one further on the Dark Willow here. Mirana goes pretty aggressive here, does not have the Starfall. I was expecting a Starfall to be there, but there was none, and Dark Willow just picks that kill up. That's a bit of an interesting play there from the Mirana, but as I said, this sometimes you just kind of realize at a point that the game's not going well, and we're slowly meeting that point where I know I have to farm out. The problem is you got a silencer and a Legion commander in the lane, so they can be a bit obnoxious with you. But the bigger part I would say right now is that Legion, as soon as Legion hits 6, Muerta is in a big dangerous spot, and I feel like I didn't really itemize well this game, to be honest about it as well. Rana goes in once again, gets caught in the Bramble Mace, does get the arrow there, so Willow is a bit of a bothersome situation there, but a lot of damage is still being put up by the Willow. Jumps into the Bramble and gets taken down once again. 4-1 for this Dire team. This is not going well, the game. The commander moves in quite a bit, takes a bit of damage there. Not really much to be done about that one. Here goes into the Legion Commander. Legion Commander is not in a good position. Tries to find a way out of this one. Goes down inside the calling. And I would say that was not a bad play. You gotta... I feel like that was probably one of the better plays I did during the game. Just kind of put the Legion Commander on a bar there to just having to take care of everything. Willow does have level 6 already, so this is going to be very interesting. The Terrorize is available, Bedlam is there as well, so a lot about that one. Legion Commander gets on top of the Muerta, and this is really what you have to avoid when you're Muerta against, for example, the Silencer and the Legion Commander. You can't really let them get on top of you, otherwise you are in a horribly bothered situation. And I feel like that's part of what I really did badly in the game. I let them have a chance to get on top of me, take me out of the fights completely here. That's probably one of the bigger mistakes I did in the game. And that's gonna be a big part about this one. Okay, so... right now, arrow misses widely there, the Dark Willow, not really much to be done. And right now we're seeing how the pressure is being put on top of that one, and a lot of damage. Once again, as I said, pretty much this is kind of like the issue I would say we have right now. There's quite a bit of damage. Legion gets pretty nicely on top of the Muerta, and that's really the biggest issue that the Muerta has. And Legion Commander is still creating the pressure here. Got to be very careful. Legion Commander should be close to level 6 here, if I can see correctly here. Yeah, not that close than I was thinking. Okay, a bit of surprise there. I thought it would be. Going about that one. And this is... oh, arrow hits the sniper stun as well. This could be an opportunity to take down the sniper. Sniper's barely holding on. Willow comes in with the TP there. Darkseer immediately caught there. The Bedlam is being thrown out there, and that's a dead Darkseer immediately to the Willow. And this is going to be very, very interesting how this one goes further with this. Was done onto the Phantom Assassin, but Phantom Assassin's kind of fine with the situation, to be honest. And I would say right now there is an opportunity here to play this one out, but right now I would say Muerta has to be careful, very, very low. Legion, I don't think is that close to level 6. Oh, it is pretty close, so I have to be very, very careful there. That level 6 can completely ruin the game right now. If Legion Commander hits that level 6, can go in there, get on top of the Muerta, and Muerta can't really answer that one pretty much. I know. Level 6 is not hit first by the Legion, but Muerta, so this could actually be a blessing. Yeah, another thing we have to keep in mind with the Legion Commander. Legion Commanders do buy Blade Mail often enough for the duel, and that would actually cause a lot of problems for the Muerta, because she would then harm herself with those shots, but that's going to be another one. Duel on top of the Veno. It's feared away. This is actually an opportunity. A lot of damage to be put on top of Legion Commander. That's a good play there. Silencer's dropping pretty low. Goes down as well. Double kill for the Muerta. That's actually a good start for the Muerta in this one. Double kill for that one. Let's go further with this one. Silencer does take down the Venomancer, so that's something. Mirana goes in with a haste. 2 levels down, trying to take on this Willow. I'm not too sure that would be the opportunity to put it up right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under siege.
Sniper's getting pressured quite a bit by the Darks here, but not enough. Ogre's trying to find a way as well. Takes it 2-3 tower shots. Not the best way. Sniper's trying to find a way still to get out of this one. The Ogre is going for a chase there. Ignite goes out of there. Does pull a bit of the camp as well. Sniper's still trying to find a way out of it, but Phantom Assassin now comes around. Then goes on top of that one. The bash on top of it. Arrow misses widely there, the Phantom Assassin. Meanwhile, Willow went into the bot lane, got a kill on top of the Muerta, and that's really what you don't want to see. Willow helps get the Venomancer as well, an 8-6 and a 2k lead at 10:30 for this Dire team.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Oh, Mirana get caught out once again. Phantom Assassin gets pretty hard on top of her. She's still holding on barely. The stun goes out of there. There's an opportunity. Shot comes out on top of the wall, gets thrown out as well. So a lot of damage being put onto this Phantom Assassin. She goes down 7-8 right now, and this could maybe signal a turnaround. Sharpshooter once again out of there, but not enough to really take down the Ogre, because the Ogre is a pretty rough player there. However, right now there's not going to be a great situation about this one. Legion Commander does get a bit of clear up here. Sniper is sitting up top, but the Willow is putting a lot of pressure on this team right now, and I don't really know if this is really the option you want to go for if you or this Dire team. I mean, the Radiant team are holding up quite a bit here, but in last hits, Willow's ahead of everybody. After that is the Muerta. And then the double duo there. Willow moves over the ward once again. This is not a situation to be in. A bit of a late reaction, gotta say there. Legion comes in there, goes for the duel on top of the Muerta. Mirana just gets taken out there. Muerta is now versus 3. No opportunity to get out of there. Throws the 3 out of there. Might get the Legion Commander. Does get the Legion Commander. Can get more out of this one. I don't know right now. Trying to do what you can. The Silencer is dropping pretty low. Does not go down. But Willow takes out the Muerta first. And then the Silencer falls. So a bit of a rough one. Camera leading was a bit rough there as well. Gotta be honest. Should have switched out a bit earlier. But it is what it is. And Willow is just dominating this game. Let's be honest about this one. The Willow is dominating. Venu throws out the old Cursed Crown, comes out of there, gets the stun, but it's not really going to do more about that one. Starksy is still holding up quite a bit here, but still taking a lot of pressure here. Sniper not in good position here right now. And now Silencer comes in there, but Sniper's dropping pretty low, but Silencer's holding on as much as he can, and that's great about it, honestly. Yeah, but Willow is now going against the Muerta to stop the Muerta from really getting an advantage here. Meanwhile, Legion Commander is already in the jungle farming up. This is honestly what the Muerta should be doing as well. That's a big mistake on my side, not to try to take more advantage over this play style right now. You want to get on top of it. You want to show that you can really do something about it. But I didn't really do that much, and that's gonna cost me probably in this game pretty badly. And you can see really he's caught up there. Ogre gets a kill onto the sniper, which helps out quite a bit, but it is not looking good for this Radiant team right now. You got the Legion Commander who's already on a good position right now, going for the Blade Mail. You got the Phantom Assassin who's just gonna hammer what out. And that's going to be a very interesting situation about it. And now there is the Bramble Maze. Now there's a Calling Beam thrown out of there that might help. The Chris Crown actually stuns Muerta as well, and that's an opportunity. Mirana comes in now, Duel gets thrown out immediately. Phantom Assassin is in there as well. They're doing as much damage as they really want to. Meanwhile, topside there is the takedown of the tower, but Dive's going further. Bramble Maze and the Chris Crown. But on the Muerta and goes down to the Phantom Assassin, and this is just not the play you want to have happen if you are going with this one further and further. And yeah, Muerta now has the Maelstrom. Could work out. Bit late on the timing, gotta be honest about that one, but that's kind of the name of the game, to be honest, in this game right now. Muerta is not looking bad, but the problem is you're just not figuring out how to really handle this one. And we see them going about right now. They are still taking as much as they can. They took down the tower. Ogre just walks in there completely. Well, they haven't taken the tower yet, but Ogre walks into 4, and that's not the position you want to be in. Gets the stun on top of the pull in there. Poison comes out of there. This is actually a good opportunity. That's a double kill. Willow's going to come in with him in this room, so that's going to be another interesting play out from this one. Goes out the Bramble Mace, gets actually the Veno. Veno is not looking good here, trying to escape the Bedlam as much as he can. Stun on top of the Dark Willow. Lexia comes now around. This could be actually a pickup on the Dark Willow, and it is, and that's some money into the pockets of this Radiant team, and suddenly Radiant seems like they're back into this one. And now we see a bit more pressure being put out here right now. Oh, there's now the Assassinate, and they just caught the Ogre completely off guard there. The duel went out once again. Legion Commander is not doing the damage right now, but getting the duels to lock somebody down. And that's going to be a pretty rough situation. And this is going to be very interesting how this one goes about it right now. And now they're cleaning out the wards, getting what they really need. Muerta is holding on as much as you can really in this game. And the thing is, you need a lot of farm. We're 17 minutes and 20 seconds into 14-14. Slight lead towards the Radiant side, which I'm honestly a bit surprised about, but I think it makes a lot of sense. Legion comes in there on the side, gets pulled in there, the wall's there as well. This is now a big opportunity to actually turn something around there. Silence is on to the Legion Commander. Legion Commander's they're holding on. Sniper's not looking good either, and they don't get a pickoff out of this one. Willow does get the Bedlam, now that the Ethereal comes out of there, and Ogre Magi picks up the Dark Willow, so this is actually a bit of an opportunity now. But they couldn't pull the trigger on the duel I think they wanted to have there. Phantom Assassin jumps on top of Mirana. Mirana just can't really stop this. So Phantom Assassin still going on top. Gets a good slap onto Mirana. Mirana goes invisible now because she overextended herself quite a bit there. But not really much you can do about that one, and that's going to be another harsh play about this one. We look at the net worth, yes, that seems about right. Muerta is ahead, but the problem is Willow and Phantom Assassin are close by, and you got the support Ogre Magi who's 4th on the list, and then Legion Commander, so Darkseer and Mirana aren't looking too good there. Good stun from the Ogre. Did have the Lincolns shown there. Duo goes on top there. Legion Commander picks up a kill. Venno's not looking too good either, and he's trying to hold up as much as he can. Right now the stun goes out. The Blade Mail is still proc there, and they do manage to walk away from this chaos here, but still not the ideal situation about this one. Wait a second. Otherwise, you will keep hearing that during the cast, and that would not be good, so a bit lively outside. I'm a bit surprised because we're kind of doing it early in the morning. I wasn't suspecting them to be that lively outside, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, we see Sniper getting the TP from the silencer there, just going about it right now. And we have to do something about it. And now Sun goes out onto the silencer, jumps on top of the Starstorm, goes out of there, but Mirana jumps on top of the Willow, and Willow says, "Thank you for that kill." Legion Commander looking for something there, calling to be thrown out as well. A lot of damage being put on top of that one. Ogre Magi picks up the Legion Commander, and now the Sniper comes in there, but takes a lot of shots there, and Muerta immediately demolishes him. Muerta going a bit for a chase right now onto the Dark Willow, but nothing comes about it, and that is the Dark Willow being happy about that one. And once again, it's not a bad fight for this Radiant team, and they're finding the pickups they want to have, but the problem is, you need to start, I would say right now, you kind of need to start forcing something on this Radiant team right now. You're a bit in the lead, but the thing is, if you don't force the game right now, you're kind of in a bad spot. That he comes out of the face right now. Legion Commander comes around right now here, but can't really do much about that one. You gotta kind of force the plays right now, because PA will outscale right now the Muerta, no question about that one. You got the Legion Commander who will be very dangerous with the duels. If you lock somebody down, they don't have an option later on in the game. Silencer gets caught out there completely, gets shot. Not enough to put him down though. Calling doesn't do enough damage either. Meanwhile, Phantom Assassin picks up the tier 1 top side. Lead is extending quite a bit. Assassinate goes out onto the Muerta, but that's kind of a fine situation about it. And right now, I would say this is going to be a very interesting spot. Venno gets picked up by the duel there. Is that enough damage? No, the duel goes up before the Venno falls, and that's a bit of a rough situation, I would say. Willow picking up some more farm, which is honestly what the Dire team need. Phantom Assassin is closing in onto the Muerta, and I feel like if the Phantom Assassin pulls past the Muerta, it's kind of a game over situation for the Muerta. She has to keep staying ahead of Phantom Assassin, otherwise it's a bad situation here. Then on top of the Phantom Assassin, already lost about half her HP here. Ogre still going for the chase here. Keeps on going. Lincoln Sphere being procced there. Another stun. Phantom Assassin's getting beaten down. There is now the Hedge Maze, the Bramble Maze. There is now the Willow coming in onto this Ogre, and Ogre goes down to that fight. I don't know why you would actually try to play this one out that way, but it is what it is, honestly. And now we see this team. I know, as I said, the Muerta still has a lead now. Phantom Assassin has picked up the Desolator, so that's going to be a rough play about that one now. As soon as I feel like the BKB comes in, that's probably Phantom Assassin's win on this game already. Question is, when is the BKB going to come in? We're 22 minutes in, almost 23 minutes into this game. A 2k lead for the Radiant team and a 3-kill lead. But that could melt pretty fast depending on how the game goes. Willow has been a bit of a menace, honestly. Mirana's trying to defend some farm. But this could become very dangerous. Phantom Assassin comes around there, gets the one dagger, jumps on top of them, and the arrow comes out of there, but no chance whatsoever. And Phantom Assassin just picks up that easy kill there, picks up the rest of the camp as well. Nothing to be really talked about here. And now the Muerta goes for the camp. Unfortunately, Legion Commander comes in from the side, gets the taunt out of there, and kills off the Muerta. And that's really, I feel like, the point that turns this one quite a bit around. Muerta's in the ground. The Radiant team doesn't really have anything following up that. If you look at the farm of the net worth completely here, you see Phantom Assassin's now in the lead. Muerta's right behind that one. There's Legion, Willow, Ogre, who's still the support. We can't forget this one, and I just think Ogre forgot that he's the support as well at this point in the game. Kind of put himself into the position being like, yeah, I'm the carry now.
Stay healthy, stay moving.
But right now I would say this is a bit of an awkward situation. Phantom keeps moving up here, going for the BKB next, and that's probably the point where I would say this game is sort of over for the whole Radiant team if that BKB timing comes on to a good position, because, well, it does run out, but the problem is Muerta's ult is then, till that point, kind of useless, which is a very rough situation. I think I could have had an option if I picked up a different item in between. I think I should have picked up the Krazoa's crown just to get something out of that, but that's, as I said, that's, now I can realize that would have probably been a wise decision, because I would say right now the Krazoa's crown would have been a pretty nice pickup here. I think it's Krazoa. Grelia's Krazoa. Krazair. Grelia's Krazair would have been a good pickup there. Unfortunately, I didn't do that, and as you can now see, really, there's the Phantom Assassins ahead, and Muerta is trailing still pretty much here. Still a slight lead for the Radiant side, but I feel like the net worth is not really the net worth how you would want to see it, really. Because while Ogre could do something, but Ogre's not the position. There's a jump on top of that one. Then he comes out of there. Mirana does survive the duel, but he has to pop Moonlight Shadow. Finds our way through the gate, but it's still not the play you really want to see. Ogre's looking for a pickup here. Silence from the silencer here completely. And so trying to find a way out of this one. This could be actually an opportunity. That is a dead silencer. There is now that. The first crown comes out of there. Ogre does stun the Muerta, and that's a bad play. That was a misunderstanding there. Teleport from the Willow goes down as well, so this is a big opportunity to actually turn this one around. And Muerta once again finds her way into a fight that looked a bit rough, but it worked out quite nicely here. Thing is, right now, I would even say, while the Phantom Assassin does pull ahead, or did fall behind now, Legion with the lockdown is one of the most dangerous players right now in the game, because that duel will put somebody down there and just not give them a chance to move away from this in any way, shape, or form. Commander now pick the amplified damage rune. It's not the double damage rune anymore. I missed that name. It was more fun. And right now we're going to see how this one goes about. Agent Commander wants something about it. Does not get it. That's a bit of a positive for the Mirana, because I feel like if the Mirana was caught up there, that she would have gone down there completely. Lotus Orb for the Darkseer makes quite a good amount of sense, honestly. It's a good item to pick up right now. Problem is, as I say right now, you can see the cores are just in a bad position. If we look here right now, we do have the Muerta who's ahead, and they're slightly ahead. It's a 3k lead, but it's not really a good 3k lead. And the funny thing is, it's more about just how the Ogre's ahead, really, than anything else, because everything else is kind of close. But if we look at the item, we got the Lincoln Sphere for the Ogre. Oh, Venno is not in a good position there. There's some guys hovering around quite a bit there. Legion Commander's looking for a pickup here. I think they're looking for the Muerta, which would be, honestly, the ideal pickup for them. Muerta is not even close anywhere right now. She is in her base right now. There goes the arrow. Gets a hit there. That should be the silencer gone. It is the silencer gone. Assassinate goes out on Mirana. Mirana's trying to find a way out of this one. Muerta did TP into that lane. That's not a good position to be in. However, maybe they can find a wraparound and get something out of this fight further. But right now it doesn't look like it. Ogre is going to deny the tower. Makes quite a bit of sense. Oh, Legion's looking for something. Gets on top of the Muerta. This is not the position. Stun goes out of there, but the damage of the blade mill is a lot, and Muerta barely survives that one. BKB now for the Phantom Assassin. This could be now really the Phantom Assassin's big jump up here. We do have Venomancer being chased by the Phantom Assassin. Ult comes out of there from the Venomancer, but I don't think he really has a chance to survive. There gets thrown another Stifling Dagger and one more hit, and that's a goner. Done from the Ogre. Throws out the Ignite as well, gets on top of that one, but Phantom Assassin pops that BKB. The BKB unveiling does give immediately a kill onto the Ogre Magi, and that gives another one here out of this. And Phantom Assassin once again moving up into the rankings on number 1. I don't really see a chance where I would say, well, as I said, the gold lead is kind of deceiving right now, I would say, in most cases. Because while you see the 3k lead, it's not really much, because that's basically one team fight. Mirana and the Silencer meet up right now. Silencer gets a bit of a silence on top of her, but not really much otherwise following this one. I'm really trying to get the sniper, but I don't know. Legion Commander doing best work, honestly, right now. Getting on top of, has a BKB as well, has Blade Mail, so this is going to be a very rough play about this one. So, really right now, they've gotten the counters, really, that you want to have against the whole team. Phantom Assassin jumps on top of the Muerta. Muerta keeps some answers here, but Willow comes in as well and doesn't get the kill, honestly, on the Muerta. That's a bit of a surprise. Mirana does kill off the Silencer as well, so that's a bit of an interesting play. Phantom Assassin is looking for a pickup here. Mirana is trying to walk away here. Has the Orchid in soon, but just goes off for a farm. Phantom Assassin comes around there, dodges the arrow, and gets a pickup there. And this is, as I said right now, probably one of the problems that we have right now. Veno farming makes sense in a lot of cases, honestly. But right now in this game, the Radiant team kind of needs to force their play right now. Because if they don't do that, they're in a bad spot. And now, especially with the Phantom Assassin having that Skull Basher in there as well, so that's going to be a bigger issue now. You just see everything coming about here right now. Phantom Assassin gets on top of that, immediately done. Oh, Legion comes in there. Once again, a Lincoln saving a duel. I feel like maybe I should have picked up a Lincoln's if you look at this match right now. Lincoln's might have been a really good pickup, honestly, but, well, Tel Aviv didn't do it. Pay the price. It is what it is, honestly. I feel like there were a few pickups I could have really done in this game and be really happy with what happened, but you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And Phantom Assassin is getting bigger and bigger right now, so that's going to be a big issue. I mean, it helps out our series quite a bit that there are maybe some games that I don't win. Because otherwise, somebody could accuse me of just playing the games I was winning. But Mirana is trying to find a way out of this one. Phantom Assassin is already 23 and looking for an opportunity there. They're moving around there. I think they did see the Muerta. Muerta pops her ultimate there. Gets quite a bit of damage on top of the Phantom Assassin. Phantom Assassin is dropping pretty low there. One shot missing there. Phantom Assassin still alive there. Phantom Assassin gets pulled in there. That's the pickup there. Legion Commander comes up from the side. Gets a duel on top of the Muerta. She goes down completely onto this one. Darkseer is trying to find a way out of this one. Meanwhile, Dark Willow is going for the TP, and yeah, I don't really think she needs that one. Darkseer is trying to find a way out of this one, but Legion Commander is still going for the chase. Phantom Darkseer is trying to hold on as much as he can. He is looking like he's going to survive this one, but Ogre comes in from the side, gets a bit of a stun there, bashes on top of this Legion Commander. Legion Commander still holding on as much as he can. Lancer's close by as well. Managed to blink away there. Lincoln's pop there. Knight goes out, but that should not harm the Legion Commander too much here. And it's a 2-for-2 fight. Both cores go down. One of the supports. Oh, but now he walks into the Willow, who is putting on some damage there. Curse Crown does go into Lincoln, so that's an opportunity there. Stun comes out of there. Willow's doing what she can. Goes down there, pull in onto the Silencer. Sniper comes out with the Assassinate, but that goes into a Lotus Orb, and that's a bit of damage. And they get on top of the Dark. Darkseer gets on top of that one, and that's a good play, honestly. And now they need to push their advantage. They need to push. Not farm, push. Push, 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 push. That would be the play right now. This is now the opportunity. You push, you push, you push, you push. He didn't get a jump onto the Ogre, but the Ogre is fine with this one. And right now, a slight lead, I would say, still. So there's a 7k gold lead for the Radiant side. The problem is Phantom Assassin is leading in net worth. Darkseer caught up quite nicely there. Mirana is in a bad spot, I would feel like, right now. It's going to be very interesting how this one goes further about it, because Mirana, I feel like Mirana's not looking too good right now in this game. She's not really finding the farm, she's not really finding the plays. Venno gets found by the Phantom Assassin. Phantom Assassin does not get more out of this one. Venno has a Shadow Blade, which is a bit of an interesting choice. I mean, if it would be upgraded to Silver Edge, I would actually find that as a great choice. Because that's one of the things I would say right now that the Radiant team kind of lacked, turning off the evasion from the EA right now. A lot of damage being pulled in onto the Willow. Willow throws out the Cursed Crown. Leech Commander jumps in there as well. A lot of damage is put on top of the Willow. Willow's barely holding on here. Goes down now to... It's really being popped here as well. Gets a kill on top of that. Leech is trying to hold on as much as he can. Can't hold on as well. Sniper goes in and assassinate into the ethereal form of Muerta. And Pierce the Veil sustains that one. Mirana has to find a way away from this Phantom Assassin, and see, there's a 10k gold lead. PA found her and takes her out completely. This is still and this is a mistake I'm making actually as well. Okay, they forced the fortification. That's actually the score you kind of want to have happen right now. You need to try to force the push here. Phantom Assassin now coming around there. They take the outpost. They need to push this tier 2. They need to push this tier 2 as well. That's what I would say right now would be the play you gotta kind of go for. Should not be trying to force another fight right now. You gotta go for these tier 2s. However, three are already spawned, 2 supports in the Phantom Assassin. The Phantom Assassin gets a good jump. It could become a bit of a problem, but it's gonna be very hard to see how this one develops out of this. Right now, not too sure. A lot of farm is still needing to be found for the Muerta. So the Daedalus is a good pickup, but as I said, still the Crusader should have been into the play. To be honest, could have been quite nicely. MKB is kind of needed as well. Lincoln's would have been a good pickup as well. There's quite a few pickups here. Dust goes out of there. Venomancer has no survivability, goes down. That's just not the play you want to see really if you are on this Radiant team. Willow has fallen up quite a bit, but I think that's kind of how the Willow has to play it out. Kind of be aggressive early on, give your cores, your 2 other cores, a bit of room to really make some aggressive plays, and then kind of fall out of favor a bit later on. They're going to be a big pickup right now? I don't think so. don't think that PA is close to anything. However, Ogre walks into something, gets into the Bramble Maze, gets jumped on top by the Phantom Assassin. Assassinate comes out of there, goes into the Lotus, but nope, that was already cancelled there. Darkseer gets a good pull into the wall. There's the duel coming out of there. A lot of damage is being put on top of that. Phantom Assassin's immediately obliterated. It appears the Veil was a good play there. Sniper managed to get away there. Silence on top of the Muerta. The Legion Commander once again lives to fight another day. Assassinate goes out of there, but that's not enough to really put this Muerta in her place. And she is doing quite nicely with the damage there. And this is still kind of a close game in a way. As I said, probably I would say I made a mistake. I mean, this is a really good pickup, the Daedalus, getting the damage. And there's, in the last fight, it kind of put itself into the position. There was a bit of damage missing. No question about it. But on the other hand, I would say there has been points where I would say the Lincolns would be a good pickup. There would be a good pickup to have the Cruiser as well. So those two should have been probably picked up, I would say. Veno farming a bit too much, I probably feel like right now. I mean, the sniper is useless right now with the game going on as it is right now. So basically, if I would say the Muerta needs like 3 more item slots, which is a bit rough to say. Because you got the Daedalus. The MKB is of course a good pickup, let's be honest about that one. That's a pickup you kind of really want to have against what's going on here, but the Lincolns would have been nice. Probably instead of the BKB, the Lincolns would have been nice. That would have been a nice pickup for the Resor as well. Maybe instead of the Force Staff, just to get some more pressure on there, but it is what it is. It's a bit of a mixture bag about this one. The Dire do have, the Radiant do still have a good lead, so that's something to keep in mind as well, but you gotta start pushing your lead. That's, I feel like, one of the biggest points I would say right now. Right now, I feel like that the Radiant aren't aware that they're in the lead. You can kind of feel how this game's playing out right now. You're giving the Phantom Assassin room to farm. You will take advantage of that one. You do have now the Bloodthorn on the Mirana, which is a good pickup. But there needs to be a way for this Radiant team to really force the aggression here. Maybe partly I'm not playing this so aggressively because I am right out. This is right after the Naga Siren game from yesterday, so kind of points to a direction that I was being a bit too hesitant about pushing this one, because the Naga Siren game did force me out quite a predicament a while in the game, that I had to find every play that I needed to take there. Tower's going to be the interesting spot about this one. This could be one of the most decisive fights in this game right now. Legion Commander is looking for a jump from the side there. Gets on top of the Muerta. Muerta has no opportunity to get out of that one, and that's a dead Muerta, and this should be probably the turnaround right now. Legion Commander gets a good kill off there. Ogre Magi falls down as well. Fear on the Terrorize goes on to the Venomancer. Venomancer is trying to run away. Dark will meanwhile pick up the Mirana. Dust is being thrown out there, so Venom has no opportunity to get out of that one, and that's a team wipe. And I feel like that was the big part, because as the Muerta, you had to be aware where the Legion Commander was in every fight. And that was the one fight where that didn't happen, so that lead has been obliterated completely. And we see that the Phantom Assassin is just picking up the pace right now. No buybacks whatsoever. Let's see if this Dire team will immediately pull the trigger. If they pull the trigger, this is game over. They're going for the tower. Immediately going for that one. Really nicely thought about that one. Fortification is being thrown out there, but the timers are still huge. 40 seconds on the Muerta, 35 onto the Ogre. Veno's, well, 35 down. Next up is the Darkseer, who can actually come into the game, and they're immediately pulling the trigger. I respect that. The Willow, I don't remember why she's doing that, but the Willow is just attacking the wrong structure. Let's be honest about that one. Tower is going down pretty deeply here. They do pull back a bit. The push is going to keep going right now. Legion takes that one out. That's going to be the first Ancient tower going away. Now they're backing off. They need one. So the thing is, Dire need one more one fight. One more one fight and Dire wins this game outright. That's just how it is right now. And if that fight, the next fight is won, it's game over. That's just how it is right now. No question about it. Next one fight for the Dire, it's game over. GG. Dire win this one. Radiant need, I think, 2 fights. There is now the BKB being thrown out there. Phantom Assassin looking for an opportunity to get on top of this one. However, not there yet. Sniper's hovering around. Legion is a bit far away. It has only half HP. This could be... Legion is looking for one pickup here. There's one pickup Legion wants, and that's the one pickup they really need. If they get on top... Oh, Ogre goes down there completely. Muerta's now trapped in the hedge mage. This is not a good position to be in. However, Legion does pick up the Darkseer rather than anybody else, but that costs them. Vendo's trying to find a fight out of that, goes into the Shadow Blade, but there's not much about that one. Phantom Assassin immediately demolishes Mirana, and now there's only 2 left and no buybacks whatsoever. So this is... Honestly, if I was now the Dire team, go mid. Go mid. Force this fight. Force the Muerta to try to play this one out. Just how it is right now. There's not much really to be done about that one. They're going to go for that tower, so that's their opportunity. They're going to push in another lane. And if there's one misstep here from... Legion jumps on top of the Muerta, gets the duo, Muerta's dead. Game over. That's game over. Well played by the Legion. Saw the opportunity, went immediately on top of that one. Popped the BKB, popped the Blade Mail. No opportunity whatsoever for the Muerta to even use her BKB in that fight, so... That's a dead one. Didn't even find an opportunity really in this game to find that. That's going to be now the second Ancient turret, and that's going to be it. Poison's going pretty nicely there, but it's not going to be enough. Phantom Assassin gets on top of the Veno. Veno gets stunned up there. Phantom just puts him into the ground, and there goes the Ancient. GG. Dire won this one 40-38 with a 13k gold lead. If you like this cast, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.